So we're now finding the U.S. military may have found the perfect way to test for chemical warfare. This is not a joke. Check it out. This is Pet Man. It's the first robot to move like a real person. It walks and crawls. It does calisthenics. It even sweats. Corey Powell's the editor-in-chief of Discovery Magazine, back with us here on set in New York. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Why does it need to sweat? A robot that perspires? How cool.
And how creepy. The Army is building this thing to test chemical protection suits, basically suits to protect you from chemical warfare. And they need to make sure that when the robot is wearing the suit, that the robot does everything that a person wearing the suit would do to make sure that it's delivering all the right protection.
Just on the video, you're watching the guy try and knock it off balance and it catches itself. We've seen that with other robots that we'll talk about in a moment. But here is your point. You say this is where the real action is in robotics. How come?
Absolutely, because you might have seen, Sony and Honda. They built this kind of promotional robots. They look
out of Japan.
Right. They look a little bit like people, but they're basically toys. They're basically they're like little action figures that stand up. This is a thing that actually moves, balances, does all the things that a person can do. If you can just miniaturize the power source and make it autonomous, then it can really. You can put skin on it. You can make something that looks, walks, moves exactly like a person.
You're saying if, so this is a prototype. If is how much further down the road, Corey?
Well, so if, you may have seen in the video, this thing actually has like little tethers and wires going into it. It has an external power source. But there are other robots made by the same company, Boston Dynamics. They built a dog robot, which I think you have some video on that. It's powered all by itself. So if the military wanted to spend the money, if could be 2 years from now.
Really?
Yes.
24 months. Okay, split screen now. On the left is what we're talking about today, and on the right is what we featured, I think it was 6 months ago.
Right.
They call that Big Dog, right?
They call it Big Dog, and I don't know if you've got audio here, but it's got this crazy buzzing noise because it's actually got basically like a Corvette engine strapped in the middle of it that provides the power. All you need is to basically do that same thing, put it up on 2 legs, and you have your humanoid robot.
So you're saying we're advancing this. Well, and some of the other video or the other stories we're getting out of places like Tokyo, I can hear the buzz right now in the background. That's the screen right. Some of the other robotic stories we're reporting in Japan do not have a practical application of what the military wants to do. Because what the military wants to do is develop these robots, send them into combat, and save lives.
Right, so you can imagine what you could do with these things. The 4-legged robot could be carrying heavy loads into combat, for instance. A 2-legged robot could be sent on search and rescue missions that are too dangerous. I mean, in principle, a plane crashes, the pilot's killed. You could actually send this thing in and be the pilot.
Is that right? With the camera on it, send back the image? And
operate it by remote control. I mean, in principle, there's no reason why you couldn't do that.
Okay, so from Pet Man to Big Dog, and there's another one on the horizon, I'm certain of that. Corey, thanks for coming in today. It's fascinating stuff, and apparently Pet Man can walk 3 miles an hour right now.
It's amazing, and it's coming sooner than you think.
You come back in 6 months, that thing will be at 10 miles an hour easily. So thank you, Corey. Good
Always
to see
a pleasure.
you again. Corey Powell.